needs, they're going to have to do something of a 4 or 5 year deal. So they're going to have to make it plus the 2 years. So you're looking at 6 to 7 years. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, Skip, we give Zeke, at the time of signing, we give him $40 million.
Okay.
$40 million over 7 years, that's a little less than $6 million. He's going to have a base salary this year. So instead of having this huge cap number, we can have it feasible because they just signed Lyle Collins to an extension.
Yeah.
So he's a top 5 pick.
It feels team-friendly to me because it's 5 years.
Skip. It's very cheap. Well, actually, it's 6 years because it's 5 years plus the year he already had on the contract. So you got 6 years, so you can prorate over the life of the contract. Skip, I think the thing is for Zeke, there's a magic number. Skip, when players, and I've gone through this, there was a magic number that I wanted to hit. I wanted to be the highest paid, but I wanted to be a certain number. 2.3 is good, but 2.5 sounds better. Yeah, $3 million is good, but 3.5 sounds better. How do we get there? I don't care what you make. You can make the back numbers like $8 million if you want to, because I'm probably not going to see that. But I just need to know when they read this contract, I'm making $3.5 million when no other tight end is over $3 million. That's what I need. So how do we, Skip, how do we get there? How does Jerry Jones get creative and says, okay, Zeke, like you said, there was a number that Jerry was willing to go to all along.
All along, from day one.
Sure.
But, Skip, if I could get you to take less.
Sure.
Why wouldn't I?
Why not?
Yeah.
I agree.
That'd be, like he said, that'd be more slices of the pie for someone else.
Correct.
But I don't want Zeke, Dak, and Amari to take up all the pie, take up 75% of the pie, because then I only got 25% to feed the rest of the guy.
Yeah.
Now, Jalen Smith got a little slice, and Lyle got a little slice.
Yeah, they got little slivers.
So those are just little pieces?
These guys are getting daddy slices. You know, granddad and dad get big slices of the pie.
These are just
right about
baby
that.
slices.
So these guys are getting big slices. Skip, how do we get here now? See, you said in the art of a deal, you feel like if everybody feel like they won, everybody's happy. But I always feel like if everybody feel like they got had, then it was a great deal. Oh, they got me, man. They got me. So if everybody feel like they've been got, that's a good deal because nobody won.
Yeah, but you don't want that. As the owner of a football team with the season on the precipice here, you don't want that kind of
But you're gonna get it done, Skip, for the simple fact, Skip, Jerry knows how to move a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Skip, what killed the Baltimore Ravens is that Joe Flacco wanted an extra $2 million in year 2, and they wouldn't do it. So $2 million ended up costing them $60 million.
Okay. They made him the highest paid player in the whole league.
When you know good and well, Joe Flacco, Skip, he was willing to take like $16 million, but just instead of year 4, put the $2 million in year 2 and year 3.
Okay.
They said, no, we wouldn't do that. So he played it out and boom, Skip. So what? He wants an extra, let's just say for the sake of argument, he wants an extra $1.5 million, $2-3 million in the first 3 years of the deal.
Okay.
Really, Jerry? You really, what is a Super Bowl worth? Because Seattle, Skip, you remember when they signed Percy Harvin? They gave him basically $12 million for about 4 games.
Yeah, they did.
But one of those games was the Super Bowl.
That's true.
Paul Allen, rest his soul, who's the owner, said that was $12 million of the best dollars I've ever spent.
I agree.
Jerry, ask yourself, you said if you guarantee me a chance to win the Super Bowl, you have no idea the size of the check I'd be willing to write. Well, you should. I mean, you probably got that in your couch cushion. You got an extra
Especially
$3-4
if you're down to a couple of 100,000.
Yes.
Yeah, at that point.
Okay.
Yes.
So this morning I've read 6 or 7 new reports, and the gist of every one of them is they're making progress, but they still have some significant work to do.
They do.
Okay. And Ian Rappaport, NFL Network, says there have been plenty of frayed nerves along the way between the two sides. I'm sure today, as we speak, they are really frayed, especially on Zeke's side, because it's usually harder on their side because Jerry kind of does this for a living on and off the field. This is what he's done in his other life. He negotiates deals.
Yes, Skip, if I got the money, it's always harder for the guy to get the money from the guy that got the money.
Okay, that is correct. But is Jerry slightly impatient right now? Yeah, he's getting a little bit impatient. Is Steven, his son, getting even more impatient? Probably so. Yeah. Are all the other Joneses, Charlotte and then Jerry Jr., are they getting really impatient? Yes. Are they starting to put a little pressure on Granddaddy and Daddy to go ahead? Yes.
They're the ones?
So now when you have frayed nerves and you reach the flashpoint and everybody was pointing toward today, it can go real good or it can go really, really bad. And that's my dread today. That's why I got a little bit, my feet are getting slightly cold because of listen, Jerry's a war horse. You know how he is. And again, big heart, short fuse. Zeke, baller, brawler. You got to be careful, like you've reached the end of the line. And now it's Cabo or bust, right? Like now are you going to force him to get on that plane back to Cabo? Are you going to miss the Giants game and then maybe the Redskins and the Dolphins games? Maybe, but
these are questions, Skip. These are questions you don't want your team having to answer because you win, lose, or draw. The overriding theme is going to be Zeke. And you don't want guys that in the coaches that constantly have to answer that for a couple of $100,000 here
I
and there.
agree. What have I told you? What phrase have I used also in association with Jerry Jones? Foolish pride. You don't want to let foolish pride get in your way when you're this close to the finish line and you're this close to the starting line of Sunday.
Skip, Jerry says, I don't, want to reset the running back market. Down the road, Skip, I don't really care what Saquon gets. Because I'm not going to have to pay it. I don't care what Alvin Kamara gets. I don't care what Christian McCaffrey or any other of these running backs. Because I'm not going to have to pay their salaries. I'm worried about my guy. I'm worried about the guy that can run me to a Super Bowl. I don't really know how Saquon and Kamara and Christian McCaffrey helps Jerry Jones' situation. I'm not worried about them. I'm going to let their organization worry about that. Because, Skip, as players, and I don't know how well players, but I'm telling you what agents do, they're looking for you to get this so I can come along and get that. And that's how it works. Von Miller had an obligation, Skip, to get as close to $20 million as he possibly could. Because you know what? He had two hellraisers right behind him. He had Aaron Donald, he had Khalil Mack. Aaron Donald says, I want to be the first $20 million guy. Okay, the Rams made him that. Khalil Mack says, I want to get $21 million. And Chicago made him that.
They did.
That's the way it works, Skip Bayless. Zeke wants to get to a round figure, let's just say $15, $16 million. So when Saquon's up in 2 years, he going to want 17, 18. And Alvin Kamara's right down the, Skip, Alvin Kamara, he was Alvin was a second, third round pick? He up. He going to want his money.
Definitely.
Third round.
So he's going to want, he's like, hold on. I've been an all-pro, I've been to Pro Bowl, yada, yada. Hey, I need to get that. Zeke and his representative don't want to build the wall and says, that's as far as the running back position can go. No, you want to keep moving it so the next guy can push it forward a little bit. But if I'm Jerry Jones, Skip Bayless, I believe, and he said, this is the most talented team that we've had since those 90s Cowboys. We know what happened in the early 90s for those. Are you willing to wreck it? Let's just say for $500,000 a year over the first 3 or 4 years. Are you willing to wreck a Super Bowl chance for $500? Skip. The man just spent $250 million on a yacht.
But there are no salary caps on yachts.
But I'm saying, let me ask you a question. Which would Jerry Jones rather have? 5 yachts or 5 more Super Bowls?
Well, you
exactly.
He'd rather the Super Bowls.
So that's, Skip, you know what? There's a guy that came into the NFL 5 years after Jerry had his team, and he's passed Jerry with Super Bowls. Don't think he ain't Mr. Kraft. Don't think he don't see that, Skip.
No, I agree. Just remember, Jerry also considers himself better than Mr. Kraft. Jerry considers himself the trendsetter and the pace setter for the other owners. So he doesn't want to have to let this deal leak and be ashamed of how much he gave to Zeke. So there's pride on the line. To me, that's foolish pride.
That's Skip. Why do you think Jerry, at the end, when Jerry tried to get commissioner removed while those other owners bucked?
They bucked.
Jerry, you don't run this. Look, we let you think that you're in charge and we let you have your way a lot. But when the rubber needs to meet the road, we're going to back the commissioner.
True.
And that's what happened.
They did.
Because if Jerry would have had his way, if he could, he's like, Robert, you see what he did to you? He tried to topple you with some trumped up charges. And Mr. Kraft said, nah, you remember what you told me? sometimes you got to take one for the team.
Yep.
I need you to take this one for the team. And then Arthur Blank. And then all the other owners and then Jerry had to stand down.
He did.
Skip, what is $1 million to Jerry Jones that's worth $6.8 million? What's $1 million? Pride.
Money he could pay Dak or Amari.
That's what I was going to say. Money for everyone else.
Yeah, that's what it is.
No, it's not.
We 200,000 off or $1 million off?
I'm just saying. Over the course of 2-3 years. What's that?
Nothing. Chicken feed.
Exactly.
Compared to what that trophy could look like in your office.
Have you dreamt about that trophy?
See what happens, Skip Bayless? If he'd instead of spending almost $20 million on a Hall of Fame party, if he'd just spent 10, he could have had that money for Zeke.
He could have. So Mike Florio of NBC says that Tuesday seems like a drop-dead deadline day for getting something done. I've said that from the start. And he concludes, so this deal is likely getting done, and today is the most likely day to do it.
Right.
I agree. And because this seems like a new runaway train, I'm queasy about it because it feels almost too good to be true, thanks to your new report.
Skip, look, the first day of practice is tomorrow. You want, when everybody goes out there, when the camera crews and they're watching everybody walk on the field, they want to see that 21.
You want to see some new pep in everybody's step?
You want to see 21 run on the field. You know, go run on the field. I don't know, he might be dragging Skip because the money going to be dragging him down.
41 days, though, that they haven't been with him. It's a long time.
It's a long time.
You say the money's going to be holding him back?
Yeah, the money going to be holding him back, Skip. You can't run that fast.
You
can't run that fast with money in your pockets.
So he used to run 4.4, now he's a 4.8.
Yeah, he's going to be 4.8 with all that money. He have to leave some of that in the locker room.
I don't think it's going to
Now he's going to be running Shannon Sharp speed.
No. I have breakaway speed. I have speed like Saquon.
I'm looking forward to this next one if Shannon has some more inside scoops, because that's how we're doing it around here. Aaron Rodgers' new coach is already making concessions.
What?